Today we are speaking about moving from affirmation to embodiment and what it really takes to make that shift, and then from that space create sacred wealth. So I want to just speak to sacred wealth for a moment. That sacred wealth, when I say that, what I mean by that is I mean spiritual wealth, emotional wealth, material, financial wealth, expanding it out into all the aspects, because it's our natural state to be and live in the frequency of wealth. It's when we look around us, when we look at nature, it's abundance, it's overflowing. That's how we are, that's who we are, and it is really just because we have forgotten that, and we have come and we've been born into a world of the collective belief in lack and in fear. And this fear and lack is usually imprinted also when we are in the womb time of not feeling safe, when we are going through very intense birth experiences that happen in hospitals that are completely disconnecting from the natural way, very inorganic. And all of that is creating this sense of not feeling safe, which not feeling safe creates lack, which not feeling safe creates fear. And this all connects into what I'm going to talk about now, because so that's what's happening, is we are not feeling safe, but obviously we know on some level who we are and what it is that we want to create, our soul's desire to go further. So now there's this new trend of the law of attraction and of affirmations, and like, you know, waking up in the morning and saying your affirmations and doing the thing, and I know I can do it, I am wealthy, I'm abundant, you know, money comes to me easily, I create what I desire, and all the whatever affirmation we use there. But as long as it stays in only a mental level, because we continuously have to say it to ourselves, and it cannot drop into the body, then it's basically useless. And it's actually quite, like, I find it's quite like masculine and quite, it's a little bit, like a bit too much also, you know, it's like I constantly have to, you know, I mean, I feel they have their place and I also sometimes use it, but it is not the main thing and the main tool that is going to get us into the space of sacred wealth. And if you're joining, please say hello. So basically, with what I just shared before about when we, through our traumas and birth, we are born with this experience in our bodies of not feeling safe, of not being safe on planet Earth, and of being in lack. And because of that not feeling safe, because on some level that also creates a distrust, that whatever we are saying to ourselves when we do those affirmations cannot fully drop in, because in our lower chakras there is this stuck energy that doesn't allow anything new to drop in, because the nervous system is so in fight or flight, in fear. It operates from that space. It operates from the space and the psychology of the child also, of the wounded child really, and moves through life in that way. And then from that space of lack, going ahead and saying all the positive affirmations, it's not really going to do anything. And then on the other side of that, though, when we go inside, we go within, we move through the descension process, we move through the death, dying to the old, dying to our story, dying to the way on how we have been brought into life and what we have been taught in our childhood, dying to all of that, and then rebirthing through very deep and empowering embodiment practices that we do through feeling our emotion, so we can finalize the cycle and teach our nervous system and our bodies that whatever is held within us, the story in our body, in our mind, is not accurate anymore to the present moment. And we go through that death. There's an immense spaciousness that is created in our body. And that is often when people speak about a sense of coming home, a sense of returning back to oneself. It's really that. Because the illusion of who we are, of who we think we are, which is that whole jingle jangle in the lower chakras of all the old story that I just spoke about, is slowly being dissolved. And then there's just space. And then our true self can finally enter. And then when our true self inhibits our body and our consciousness, and we can relax and feel safe and realize that we are safe, I'm safe right here, right now. There's no need for my nervous system to stress. There's no need for me to think about the future. There's no need for me to cling onto positive affirmations, because I am on some level in so much fear, and I just need something that makes me, feel a little bit better momentarily. And we just drop into a space of embodied knowing and of embodiment. That's what really, when embodiment as well also is like another trend, that I'm part of that trend, because that's what really my work is about. Dropping in. And embodiment is when we know whatever it is that we are telling ourselves in the affirmation. I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am love. I'm always taken care of. I am always supported. I'm always provided for by the divine. That this, you don't even need to say it 100 million times. You can only say it one time and really feel it. Because there's actually the space in your body to finally feel that. To finally experience that. And then, yes, I agree that it does take some time also of the rewiring. The rewiring takes time because our neural nets are programmed to operate in a certain way. But the more we heal the root, the more we descend deeper into our body, connect to the earth, come back to the presence, the faster it goes. And the more it will just become natural. It's not even like a thing that we have to do or remind ourselves anymore, because we will just become that, But sometimes, it takes a moment to release years and years and years and years of conditioning and unworthiness and not feeling safe and lack and collective consciousness that also we are obviously a part of and co-creating with that, and it's influencing our energy field. So it takes a moment, but at the beginning it may be we need a little more discipline, and perhaps these affirmations or whatever as a part of also the embodiment practices that we are doing in order to drop deep our body, in order to feel, not just by itself, But as a holistic approach, as one of the facets of that, yes, helps, of course, but not as the only thing, which is actually, yeah, it's again it's quite disembodied when I see that, people just going ahead and being like, yeah, just take this positive affirmations here and your mindset changing, blah, blah, blah. And it's really, again, a way of disconnecting to the feminine wisdom, which is the body, and then bringing it all into the mind, just like more the masculine, and like, let's put it in, let's anchor it in. Yeah, feel good, do the things. And, like, forgetting that when we feel something, it's telling us something. We don't need to put a positive affirmation on top. We need to just listen. What is it? Why is it there? What is it telling me? Be with it, be present with it, feel it, and allow it to move. And that's really the work I do with my students, is holding that sacred space for them so they can go in and they can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and to assist them to go deeper also sometimes when we're like, oh, I don't want to go there. And then when we enter into that space of that depth of the root, to be able to dismantle it and for the energy to just be freed. It doesn't really have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to take years. It doesn't have to be anything, because eventually we are going to realize that as the grip of our conditions and the layers of the mind and the ego and the stories, as they just slowly loosen up, and as we start to see through the veil and through the layers of that it wasn't really, really real, and that it is just a story from the past, and that there may still even be emotions that come with it. And, it's also part of my journey when I work through things. Of course, yes, I am a human being. I have emotions that come up. I have things that come up for me, but I'm not going to, I'm not so deeply identified with it anymore. And I know my true self, so therefore it is so much easier for it to be released. And then to come back to the sacred wealth, when there's the spaciousness, then we can really finally feel into our true self, and our true self is sacred wealth. The divine is infinite abundance. And obviously it's just our choice. How do we work with it, and what do we want to create? Some of us maybe don't have the desire to even, and as I said before, sacred wealth is not only money, not only financial, but some of us maybe don't feel that strong desire. I love material wealth and financial abundance and all that. It's just something I know that I came here to experience and to enjoy and to share also with others, but it's not necessary to have that. But what is important is to come into that space of, first of all, healing that lack, and then to be able to bring in what it is that we want to create. And for me, to be honest, as a modern mystic on that pathway, I really believe that sacred wealth is sacred financial and material wealth is part of also what we came here to create as modern mystics, and merging that physical reality of abundance, financial abundance, money, with the spiritual reality of the higher knowing, of surrendering to our Dharma. And by the way, next week I have an incredible 3-day live immersion on Unlock Your Soul's Dharma. It's going to be incredible, so I invite you to join. You can find the details in the title photo of my group. I can drop in the link also in the description here, so you can sign up. And and to live in our sacred Dharma from a space of overflow, energetically, physically, to give, and in the same time to enjoy life and to co-create from that space of magic and receiving and love and lushness and luxury, if that's what we love. And I know many of us, especially, I mean, all of us, but I like to just say the goddesses. It's this royal frequency we carry. The priestess, that royalty, those timelines that many of us hold. We came here to bring that back one more time in a new way. But in order to really bring that back in that new way, we must heal the old story of lack. We also must heal our relationship with money, which is another topic and live stream and online course by itself that I eventually am going to create. But healing that relationship so that we can really be in sacred wealth, which is coming from a space of inner fullness, of inner trust. And sometimes it even takes a moment to stay in that inner trust and fullness and love and embodiment before it's reflected in our physical reality. But it almost doesn't matter anymore because we already embody the timeline of it. And then it's just a matter of time until it's going to be reflected. And then it's not even as surprising. It's like, oh, of course, this was going to happen. So, yeah. No, that's my sharing for that. And also, like in my own journey, it has been a very deep initiation. I had to move through so many layers of poverty consciousness. My father is from Pakistan. My mother's from Poland. She grew up post Second World War. There wasn't a lot of food on the shelves where she grew up, and I grew up with a lot of struggle around money in my childhood. So much struggle around money, and I was struggling a lot with money for a long time in my life. And yeah, it was like a journey, and I think I will share more about that in another time, because I would love to share more and go deeper into that story. But I have to say that for me, it was taking the shift. It was healing the emotion and healing the compression around that story, the belief, the identity around that story, healing that, releasing that, embracing that, and then finally finding the truth of who I am, the divinity, the priestess, the royalty, all of that. And then bringing it and continuously bringing and birthing it into life and into all my offerings, into everything that I'm creating. And honestly, this is just the very beginning here. I know everything that is to come, and it's just incredible. It's already incredible, and it's going to be even more incredible. And I know that this is, for so many, and anyone who really feels called to my energy, to my work, who came here with that same mission of co-creating wealth on all levels, not only on one, from a space of devotion and love and deep, deep service to the divine, which is really serving ourselves and all of life. Is not only giving and sacrificing. So I feel like I went a bit on a tangent, but it was just a channel opening, and that was coming through. But I feel that I still covered the aspects of the affirmation and why it's so important to move from that to the embodiment and how we create sacred wealth from that space. So Thank you so much for anyone who's here, for everyone who's watching the replay. And if this is something that you also feel deeply in your being, that you feel called to embody on a deeper level, not only the sacred wealth, but really from a space of your Dharma, of your supreme purpose, of what you came here to do, and embody and live in that frequency, let me know and let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. If you want to go deeper with me, if you feel the call, if you feel the power of this work, I'm going to put as well the link for free chat into the description here. You can book a call with me and we go from there. I invite you to do that. And otherwise, I see you all next week again for the 3-day immersion. And I am just so excited for that. All right. Much love to you all and speak soon. Bye. Thank you. And if you're watching the replay, please put in some comments on how this all felt for you. Bye.